Triumph started out making bicycles, graduated to motorcycles, and eventually became one of the better-known nameplates in British sports cars.
Triumph is a GT6, and that's a 1968 Mark III. And that's unusual because it's a coupe. It's obviously not a soft top, and there's not many of those around now. You don't, very few and far between.
When most think of a Triumph coupe, they think of the ill-fated wedge design of the TR7, a car that still makes Tony and other Triumph owners cringe. They prefer to think of the glory years of the Spitfire and other top-down successes.
Well, yeah, they started off with the motorcycles, and then with the sports cars going right through. But the last one was the TR8. That was after the cylinder, the 7. And the 7 was the garbage car. That was really terrible. I won't even work on those. I don't like them at all. But then they didn't keep up with the market where they should have. They got into real trouble, and the 7 was the demise, really. And then they tried coming back with the TR8, and that was too expensive, and that was the end of them.
1968 was the first year for the GT6. The decision to fit it with a 6-cylinder put pressure on the engineering department to find a way to shoehorn the engine into a very limited space. It was a bit of a squeeze, but by creating a rather complicated cooling system and a large hood bulge, they managed it. The next challenge was controlling the power, and unfortunately the suspension system suffered the most.
Suspension problems with the rear end, the rear U-joints, because of the engine, the power of the engine. It's obviously got to translate to a weaker rear end and rear U-joints, so they give quite a few problems. Drives okay. It's too fast for what it is, really. It's a 6-cylinder engine. That's the GT. That's what the GT6 stands for. And yeah, it's a little bit hard, but it goes well, goes fast. Well, everybody that wants a sports car really wants a convertible. So when you get a coupe, when you want to drive a sports car, it's in the summer, and with a coupe, it's just as hot as anything. It's better for sound insulation, and it makes the car more rigid. They don't rattle as much, but they're still noisy.
But despite the noise and the heat, Tony has no problem finding anyone interested in owning a bit of British history.
Most are experts, but the majority are Canadians as well, though, that have got the English heritage or the English parents, and they were just brought up with the cars, and they feel they want to get back to them as well. And then, of course, people couldn't afford them when they were kids, when they were students, and so now they can afford them, and yeah, so that's the people that are buying them now.